To celebrate the 35 years of the Nebraska Corn Board's internship program, this Seeds of Success segment will highlight the workings of current and past Nebraska Corn Board interns as they make their impact on the industry. I'm Jaylee Pope on the Rural Radio Network, and today I'm joined by Logan Walsh, the U.S. Grains Council intern out in Washington, D.C. Logan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. My name is Logan Walsh. I'm going into my senior year at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm an international business major, focused in economics, and then a minor in international trade. From the Denver area, so my connection to agriculture isn't direct, but my family, my grandparents are farmers out in West Nebraska, out by, and so through that, I've slowly integrated through agriculture stuff, and then just my experiences through the Yider Institute at Lincoln. This opportunity presented itself thanks to the Corn Board and out here in DC and loving it.
If you could talk a little bit about what it's like to be in international business and kind of what drew you into that major and some of those experiences that you've had also at the university through that program.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm going to be honest, I picked it when I was applying to Lincoln just because it sounded cool. I want to do finance stuff. I had no clue about really that agriculture side of things or trade side of things. And so my initial plan was I picked it and I was planning on changing my major, as everybody does. And slowly through coursework, taking some econ classes, I realized, okay, this is pretty interesting, especially the international side of things. Nebraska, for being in the middle of the country, has a lot of international connections, especially with agriculture. And then my sophomore year, going into my sophomore year, I had a friend shoot me a text, and she was also an econ major. I was like, hey, take this class on East Campus. It's an early morning class, which is unfortunate, but it's really worth it. And it's the introduction class for the Yider Institute, International Trade and Finance 320, taught by Professor Joe O'Donnell. And from there, my whole perspective on everything changed. It focused on WTO, trade policy, how the U.S. is where we are now. And that's just, as I mentioned, just opened everything up. And so I'm a Yider fellow for this upcoming year, so have the opportunity to explore more international trade opportunities and just work on a project with 3 other students as well. So
that's awesome. Honestly, it's kind of cool to see how Nebraska is really great about connecting those opportunities and really, I guess, giving a worldview is one thing that I appreciate. I know that I get to go to New Zealand this next Christmas break on one of the ag study abroad trips. So I think it's really cool, even though that we're in the middle of the country. Like you said, we have a lot of international connections.
But yeah, no, definitely. It's really cool.
And if you could kind of pivot and talk about how you found out about the Nebraska Corn Board internship and how you got connected with that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I was a little behind the game, but like I said, Professor Jill O'Donnell, she sent it to me over an email. She's like, hey, check out this opportunity. So I applied, set everything over and had the opportunity to interview with Kelly and Jill, and really didn't know much about the position going into it. I knew it was at the Grains Council and it sounded cool, but I've really learned a lot here, actually going through the work, and very fortunate for the opportunity.
And I think that's a perfect segue into what are you doing in DC this summer? What are some of the things on your plate, some of your responsibilities, and maybe even some other things that you get to enjoy?
Yeah, definitely. So my official title is I'm an intern with the Industry Relations team. So it's pretty broad on everything that we call ourselves IRT, what we do. The primary focus is our upcoming membership meeting in Grand Rapids. We're actually having a bylaw change to amend our name to include biofuels and stuff like that. But the big thing is making sure our members are happy, connections with them. Done a lot of research projects on potential markets to explore. Something that especially the grain industry is looking at right now is ethanol. So I'm doing a lot of research projects for our ethanol team on potential international markets and constraints there, potential incentives for tax purposes. And then, as you mentioned, there's a lot of other things that come along with this as well. There's a really strong agriculture intern network here in DC. So about once a week, if not twice a week, we're having lunches at different industries or different firms that are having us and just allowing us to connect. DC is a big city, but it's a small community, especially in the agriculture field. It's been really cool. Made a lot of great friends and gone to a lot of cool events. So very fortunate.
That's amazing. And if young people or future interns are looking to take advantage of some of these opportunities, what would be your advice to upcoming interns?
I mean, part of it is the networking, but just reach out. That's something I realized when I got here. Once you get your foot in the door, and if you just shoot a message or you meet somebody out for a coffee or lunch, everybody's willing to help out. And that's something I've been very fortunate. I've only been here 5 weeks now, 6 weeks, and the amount of people that have reached out, hey, if you want to grab coffee, if you want to grab lunch, just go meet for a chat or a phone call. I have 2 calls set up this afternoon to talk with people in commodity trading and trade policy. Once again, because everybody realizes how important it is to have people from the Midwest in DC actually advocating on behalf of agriculture and just trying to make that possible. So just take that first step and reach out because odds are they know the shoes that you've been in, they walked them, and they want to help out as well.
That's amazing. And as we wrap up our time, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience?
No, just once again, incredibly grateful for the Corn Board for sponsoring this opportunity. Really thankful to be out here, and I've had a great time. So very appreciative.
Again, that was Logan Walsh interning in Washington, D.C. And I'm Jaylee Pope, and you're listening to the Rural Radio Network.